The United States has always grappled with the complexities of immigration. However, the recent signing of the Laken Riley Act has ignited a firestorm of debate, exposing deep divisions within the nation. This law, named after a young woman tragically killed, marks a significant escalation in immigration enforcement. It has sparked passionate arguments on both sides of the aisle, raising questions about security, justice, and the very fabric of American society. The act's impact is undeniable, ushering in a new era of immigration policy in the United States. This act is more than just legislation, it's a symbol. It represents the anxieties of a nation wrestling with questions of identity and security. Supporters of the act view it as a necessary measure to protect citizens and uphold the rule of law. They argue that it will deter illegal immigration and hold individuals accountable for their actions. Opponents, however, see it as a discriminatory and inhumane attack on vulnerable populations. They fear it will lead to racial profiling and erode the fundamental American values of compassion and due process. The Laken Riley Act has ignited a national conversation, forcing us to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves. It's a conversation that transcends political affiliations, tapping into deep-seated beliefs about justice, security, and the very meaning of American citizenship. The debate is far from over. It's a raw and emotional discussion that will continue to shape the nation for years to come. The act's legacy remains to be seen. However, one thing is certain: it has irrevocably altered the landscape of immigration in America. The Laken Riley Act significantly expands the government's authority to target individuals suspected of immigration violations. The act's reach extends beyond serious criminal offenses, encompassing a broader range of activities deemed deportable offenses. This includes minor infractions such as shoplifting or even traffic violations, raising concerns about the potential for abuse and overreach. The Act's provisions have been meticulously crafted to leave no room for ambiguity, sending a clear message that the United States is taking a hard line on illegal immigration. One of the most controversial aspects of the Act is its provision allowing for the indefinite detention of individuals awaiting deportation proceedings. This measure has drawn sharp criticism from human rights groups, who argue that it violates fundamental legal principles. They argue that prolonged detention without a clear path to release is unjust and inhumane, particularly for those who pose no threat to society. The Act's supporters, however, maintain that this provision is essential to ensuring the integrity of the immigration system and preventing individuals from evading deportation. The Act also mandates increased collaboration between federal immigration authorities and local law enforcement agencies. This provision has sparked debate about the potential for racial profiling and erosion of trust between immigrant communities and law enforcement. Critics argue that it could lead to a situation where local police are effectively deputized as immigration agents, creating a climate of fear and distrust. Proponents, however, contend that such collaboration is essential to identifying and apprehending individuals who pose a threat to national security. The Laken Riley Act represents a significant departure from previous immigration policy, ushering in an era of heightened enforcement and stricter penalties for those who violate immigration laws. The Act's long-term impact remains to be seen. However, one thing is certain: it will have a profound impact on the lives of millions of immigrants living in the United States, both documented and undocumented. The Laken Riley Act's passage was a testament to its emotional resonance, transcending the usual partisan gridlock that has come to characterize the American political landscape. In a rare display of unity, lawmakers from both sides of the aisle set aside their differences, recognizing the need to address what they perceived as a growing crisis. The Act's bipartisan support underscored the deep-seated anxieties surrounding immigration, anxieties that transcended traditional political divides. Democrats, typically seen as allies of immigrant communities, found themselves grappling with the political realities of a nation increasingly concerned about border security. The Act's namesake, Laken Riley, became a powerful symbol of the human cost of unchecked illegal immigration, swaying public opinion and putting pressure on lawmakers to act. The Act's passage was a testament to the power of a compelling narrative, one that resonated with voters across the political spectrum. The Act's bipartisan support also reflected a broader shift in the political landscape, as concerns about national security and the rule of law took center stage. In the wake of heightened global instability and terrorist threats, Americans were increasingly receptive to messages of law and order, even if it meant curtailing certain civil liberties. The act's passage was a sign of the times, reflecting a growing national mood of anxiety and a desire for decisive action. The Laken Riley Act's journey through Congress was a testament to the complex interplay of factors that shape American politics: public sentiment, political expediency, and the enduring power of a compelling narrative. Its bipartisan support, while remarkable, also underscored the deep divisions that remain within American society. The Laken Riley Act's true test lies not in its passage, but in its implementation. The Act's sweeping provisions present a formidable challenge for the agencies tasked with enforcing them, requiring a significant allocation of resources and a fundamental shift in approach. Critics argue that the Act is a logistical nightmare, placing an untenable burden on an already strained immigration system. One of the most pressing challenges is the Act's mandate to detain individuals awaiting deportation proceedings. The sheer number of individuals potentially subject to detention has raised concerns about overcrowding, inadequate facilities, and the potential for human rights violations. The Act's opponents argue that it will create a system of mass detention reminiscent of darker chapters in history. Another significant hurdle is the Act's requirement for increased collaboration between federal immigration authorities and local law enforcement. Many local jurisdictions have expressed reluctance to participate, citing concerns about straining resources and damaging relationships with immigrant communities. This lack of cooperation could undermine the Act's effectiveness, creating a patchwork of enforcement that varies widely across the country. The Laken Riley Act has ushered in a new era of immigration enforcement in the United States. Its long-term impact remains to be seen. However, one thing is certain: the challenges of implementation will continue to test the nation's resolve and shape the debate over immigration for years to come.